of the chess world in a show with everything but Yul Brynner. Time flies, doesn't seem a minute since the Tyrolean Spa had the chess bars in it. All change, don't you know that when you play at this level, there's no ordinary venue? It's Iceland, or the Philippines, or Hastings, or this place.
One night in Bangkok in the world's blockbuster. The bars are temples, but the pulse ain't free. You'll find a god in every golden oyster. And if you're lucky, then the god's a she. I can feel an angel sliding up to me.
One town's very like another when your head's down over your pieces, brother.
It's a drag, it's a bore, it's really such a pity to be looking at the bar, not looking at the city.
What do you mean? You've seen one crowded, polluted, thinking town, but get tired, you're talking to a tourist whose every move's among the purists. I get my kids above the waistline, sunshine.
One night in Bangkok makes a hard man humble. Not much between despair and ecstasy. One night in Bangkok and the tough guys crumble. Can't be too careful with your company. I can feel the devil walking next to me.
Hello there.
How you going, guys?
We get our kicks above the waistline, sunshine.
Certainly
What
do.
a banger.
Above
What
and below. Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a great track, you know?
I was pumping this in the car on my way home because we went to drag bingo last night and hung out. And I was playing it in the car on the way home. And I said to Mick, I've got such great memories of this song because the very first time I used to think I was like going to get into modeling, but I was too short. And I'm an inch too short for catwalk, but I still booked a catwalk gig because it was fucking Brisbane and there was no one left. And
and everyone's on bongs.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually had like a career happening. Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Bongs and thongs. Yeah.
But yeah, the one and only catwalk show that I did, it was for, I can't even remember who the client was doing it, and they were suits. It was like it was all sort of formal wear. And this was the song, the very first song that I walk out to. Yeah, it was Peter Jackson, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
But this was the very first song I walked out onto the catwalk, and I felt like
Very
$1 million.
powerful. Yeah,
it is. It's very
absolutely.
powerful. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So great memories.
Well, I'm going to introduce you, honey, before we
yes,
go any
please.
further. You're Jay Jovey.
Get away from her, you bitch!
I love
And
the face.
everybody, Sammy Hard on.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
You don't.
That's
Tell me about
right.
your. So you felt very powerful in this little. Well, what was it? A catwalk thing? Yeah.
Yeah. My
for Peter
my
Jackson.
one and only catwalk show. I used to do a little bit of fucking photographic modelling, like magazine spreads and that kind of thing, because I could act. And then I was like, oh no, I've got too much of a personality for this. You know, I sort of soon moved on from that.
You would have scared the shit out of them out the back as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I was
it's
just
like doing a wedding.
I was
you
there
know?
to
Oh,
fucking
fuck,
muck
don't say
around.
that to the.
Yeah, exactly right. But I sort of like I got out of modeling and into acting, and the very first thing that I started doing was operas and musicals. So this is
Wow.
our little segue into tonight's episode. We're looking at Broadway in the 80s. We're looking at sort of very popular musicals from the West End, from Broadway, and stuff that actually made it onto the charts and was hugely popular because there was quite a lot of it in the 80s. I started this with like, I sort of wrote the first 5 down, And then I'm like, oh, yeah. And then they just kept coming and kept coming. I actually sort of had to cut this a little bit because there was so much good material. But Chess was one of them. Chess being a musical that came out in 1986 in the West End and 88 in Broadway, was written by Benny and Bjorn from ABBA.
Yeah, that's right. And the artist on that song is Murray Head, and all I could think about was, would he be good at giving head? When I was little.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's where my head went. I always wondered, what would you do with the surname Head? Would you get the question all the time, do you give head? Like, you know what I mean? I was always concerned for him.
Just make sure your middle name's not Richard.
Yeah, right.
You
Well,
do.
I love the song, and I think this is Benny and Bjorn, as you say, from ABBA. They're fucking geniuses, songwriters.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. It sounds like an ABBA song. Like it does sound like an
It
ABBA
does.
song.
It sounds like the one we do. Gimme,
that's
gimme a
right.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going
yeah.
to say.
It just pumps, got those
yeah,
beautiful kind
they
of
really ran
harmonies
with that
and
sound.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Murray Head
This
was sort
went
of just a
to-
talker, you know?
Yeah, he was
just
like
talk.
a
I
kind
get
of
my kicks.
narrator. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so he
finger the
was he
girl.
in the actual play live in the theatre, or do you know?
No. So what they used to do was it's something that they started in the 80s, and it's very, very smart. And I think it's why these musicals became so huge. They would record a concept album
Right.
about that show and release it onto the mainstream charts, to raise money for that production coming out. And
Of
then,
course, yes.
Yeah. And so what it would do is sort of like preview the songs to the public. So the songs were already out there kind of in the public sort of consciousness. And it was also raise money for their show to be able to kind of put on this massive, massive show. And it worked. Like these musicals were fucking iconic. So Murray Head was, one of the artists that they got on board to record this concept album.
Now, that's a good point you bring up, okay? And people don't quite get this. When you are a promoter for a theatre show, you are paying thousands of dollars, if not $500,000, to put the show on at the theatre. It's not like a pub gig where they give you $500,000 and that's what you get. You actually have to pay all costs. And this is the same with Rewind 80s. When we go and do the Wedge, or we go and do, no, Darwin brought us, but there's been Cairns Performing Arts Centre. We are financing that ourselves, and it's through the ticket sales that we get our money back. You know what I mean? So it's a risk. It's a huge risk. And it's something that other bands don't do without money behind them. Now, the fact that they put out these singles is exactly what they're doing, is building up money to keep the show afloat, you know? It wasn't because they wanted
that's
to be
right.
famous. It was a really smart idea, like you said.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's, these shows, even though there were big names involved, they weren't being backed by kind of massive film studios or anything like that. So they could very easily go bust and not make any money. So it was a really smart thing that they did, was to sort of like raise all that capital before they actually put on the put on the main stage. Yeah.
Because the more
So,
people
yeah.
you do get involved, it costs more money as well, because you've got more wages. And that's the problem. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
Then Cameron
Absolutely.
McIntosh came in and funded people and stuff like that later on in the 80s. The 80s was quite wealthy for this stuff. There was a lot of money around in the 80s.
And a lot of good writing, and a
Yeah.
lot of good ideas, just a really good work ethic as well. It was thriving for this kind of shit. The 80s was a great decade for musicals, like just Flash and Show. It was really standing on the sort of history of showbiz and everything, but really, a lot of great writers in the 80s. It was sort of a big changeover as well. You could be a bit more risque with your subject matter. You know, it didn't have to be sort of mumsy dadsy for the family kind of thing. You could be more,
Yes.
bit more risque. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this was, Benny and Bjorn weren't seen as theatre writers, really.
No.
So this was a little bit of a risk. And I think the fact that they made such a huge impact was fantastic for other musicians that wanted to do the same thing as well, because I don't think someone came along and went, Chess, what a great idea. Benny and Bjorn are the directors or the writers. This is
Perfect.
going to work. You don't know. It's a different sort of thing, but I think it's interesting to look at because there's so much risk in theatre. There is so much risk, and it actually takes more balls to do theatre than it does to put out a top 40 track, I think.
Yeah, God, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. For sure. Yeah,
Let me know when you want to go to
absolutely.
your next one, baby. You drive
Let's
this
do
car.
it right now. I love this one. All right, lovely.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
honey.
love this one. This is a big one. It sort of was very, very popular in the late 80s. This opened in 86 in the West End and then in Broadway in 88. See if you can pick it.
And it's one of our producers' favourite things of all time.
Sure is, yeah.
Here we go.
In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came. That voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is there inside my mind.
Sing once again with me a strange duet. My power over you grows stronger yet. And though you turn from me to glance behind, the phantom of the opera is there inside your
Those who have seen your face draw back in fear. I am the mask you wear.
It's me they hear. My spirit and my voice in one combined.
There you go.
There we go. Decent whack of that. This and I'm glad that you gave it a decent run because these are sort of stage musical numbers. They do unfold
They do.
at a different pace. You
They
know, you
take
need
a
to give them
long
a bit of a
time.
run. Yeah, yeah. So that was Sarah Brightman playing the lead female role of Christine, and Michael Crawford from Some Others Do Have 'Em, who really was known to the world as like a comedic actor.
Yeah.
Very well respected and well loved, but he was like a clown. And
Yes.
people were sort of rocking up in 86, not knowing what to expect, thinking that it was going to be sort of panto and that it was going to be funny. And it's like a horror musical, you know, it's fucking awesome. It's an amazing musical. I've seen it 3 times now and just phenomenal each time.
And that's the thing. A lot of these singers in these productions are very different outside of this theme. You know, like Sarah
Yeah, that's
Brightman had
right.
a single out in the 90s that everyone knew. And I mean, there's been so many artists Jason Donovan, not in a million years would you have thought he could do theatre, you know?
Yeah, that's
So there's
right.
a lot of
Yeah.
training involved and a lot of, and it's another hat. It's another hat to wear. But like you said, you expect this funny guy to come out and he's all dramatic and strong, and it's actually a really lovely way to express yourself in another form, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great role. I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. I saw it when I was about 17 when I started trying to get into drama school and was coming down, flying down from Cairns to the cities for auditions and stuff like that, like fucking mum was so supportive.
Yeah, yeah.
Once I was like, nah, I'm fucking doing this with my family.
Yes.
They really softened and threw their full support behind me. I've got to really respect them for that. And like, mum was amazing, fucking flying down from 17, flying down to the cities, to Brisbane and Sydney and stuff for auditions. Like, just fucking crazy. Just the expense, and I was untrained. I was not trained. I just was young and just had talent and had started training and everything.
Yeah.
But not kind of, I hadn't been to an institution or anything like that.
Just the mental institution.
Just a mental institution. And
that's where we met.
Yeah, mum. Exactly. On one of these trips, mum took me to see Phantom. I think it was at the State Theatre in Sydney, which is in the city, and it was Rob Guest. Rob Guest was playing the Phantom role.
Yeah.
And, like a bunch of nerds, we waited at the stage door afterwards and had a chat with him. And I remember being 17 and I was just so blown away by him. And I've got a really strong sense of smell and I could smell his makeup. I could smell, what's it called?
The cake stuff.
The cake, what's it called? Pancake makeup.
Yeah, pancake.
Really thick pancake makeup for stage.
Crayola,
and I could smell it. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, it starts with a K and it's
there
like
was a shop in the city in Melbourne. Yeah.
Yes, in Collins Street.
Yeah, they were huge.
Yeah.
My friend used to work there actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she used to be behind the counter and everyone knew her. Because
Oh,
the drag
I wish
queens
she
would
still
go in
did.
as well.
I need to go in there. Yeah, exactly right.
No, I think she's doing something else now. But she used to work behind the counter for years. And it was really interesting walking in for the first time because it was kind of scary because it was makeup, but it was stage makeup for theatre.
Yeah,
It was really confronting.
It's really awesome. It's a really good Kryolan. It's called Kryolan.
That's right.
Yeah,
And I think
backstage. That's right.
In Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know who you'd bump into there either,
Exactly right. And you can get sort of like, you can get really cool shit in there. Like you can get little hair pieces, you can get sort of facial hair and it looks completely fucking real. You can get like sort of moustaches and stuff on like wig lace and you glue it all on and it looks completely fucking real.
Yeah.
I always used to kind of like at drama school, all my characters used to have a moustache or a beard, and I'd go and fucking glue it all on. I used to really be into the makeup, like at drama school. Nobody else could have given a fuck, but I just
You would have
really
been right
used
for.
it.
You would have been
I
right
just
for
used it
Fiddler
to
on the
transform. Oh yeah, exactly right.
Roof. Did you Fiddler on the Roof?
I didn't fiddler on the roof. I fiddled her on in the
You fiddled
in the green
on the
room.
roof? Yeah. You fiddled in the green room. That's awesome.
It was too cold up there.
Didn't we all?
Fiddled with her
it
in
was
the
fucking boring. So
Oh,
can
it
you
was-
tell me what you did theatre-wise then? Because we didn't get to that.
Oh fuck loads of stuff.
Right.
Fuck loads of stuff. The very
Because I
first
auditioned and I
thing-
never got in. Oh, I did one, but that was nothing,
I just had it's look, to be honest, it's like at entry level, it's easier for guys. If
Yeah,
you're good,
of
only at
course.
entry level. Once
Of
you're
course.
kind of in the upper echelon, it's very competitive.
They pick one. That's
Um,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I got to see the upper echelon. I wasn't in the upper echelon.
Yeah.
But it's at entry level, it's sort of it's a little bit easier for guys, and if you're sort of young and kind of masculine looking and whatever, because I was sort of from 15, I kind of look like I do now. So I sort of, I guess, matured a little earlier. So I was getting offered kind of juvenile lead roles and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just learnt on the job. Like my very first professional stage show was Anything Goes, and I got Billy Crocker. I got like the Juve lead in that, the juvenile lead. And which was like a huge opportunity, and it was at the Tivoli. Played at the Tivoli in Brisbane that we played with the Bowie show.
We did.
Yeah. And that was that was the first thing. And it sort of after that I got into opera, and then I did 4 operas in the following year.
You must have trained for
fucking
that
crazy.
though, yeah?
I did. I had to
Yeah.
train for that.
Yeah.
I had to train for that.
Did you like
and that
it?
was I loved the training because I could sort of I was learning so much,
Yeah.
from nothing. I was just learning so much. I loved the stories. I didn't like the environment. I sort of got a bit preyed upon at that age, you know what I mean? Because it was
of
all
course. Yeah.
I was like I had like fucking grass seeds
Just
behind
rest
my
inside
ears.
me
I was
kind of vibe. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. It was all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
so
there would've been a
I
lot
had
of
a
sluts.
dude. I had an old guy say that
Sit on
if
my
I
lap,
ever
Daddy.
wanted to be a true tenor, I would need to be penetrated because
Wow.
and he was like total manipulation.
Oh, that's shocking.
He was like, "Oh no, you'll never reach the heights unless you've been penetrated. You're gonna have to.
So you can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, I know. How fucking dodgy is that?
I bet he's
I
not
was
still
like,
working.
I'm probably dead now.
Yeah, he's probably dead. Cocaine.
Yeah.
But yeah, or Amel. I just think it was a tough industry for like children of your age because there were older guys that thought they could do that shit, and
Yeah,
I mean, I auditioned for theatre, but I just never got in because it was a lot harder for females, as you say.
Yeah.
But it's a different. I studied at the Melbourne Conservatorium for a year vocally, and I could not see the fucking sense in me doing opera. I was like, I don't want to do opera. I just want to do the divinals. I don't give a fuck. And I think I did a year because my parents wanted me to because that's what the textbook says you need to do. And I was too young to sort of, and then I just started taking it. Nah, I don't want to do this. And I hated it. But
Yeah, exactly.
it's something that, is interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
So should we do the third one?
Let's keep going.
No.
Yeah, we might have to push through
Yeah.
because we got a lot of material. This one's really, really big. This is I've kind of been creative with how I've included this one because it actually debuted in London in '78 and Broadway in '79. But in 1980, it won a Tony for Best Musical, and that was the first time a British musical had won a Tony, which is an American award.
Wow.
So this is huge. It was a huge favourite with the community, with the public, and you'll love this.
Here's Patti LuPone.
won't believe me. All you will see is a girl you once knew, although she's dressed up to the nines, at sixes and sevens with you. I had to let it happen. I had to change. Couldn't stay all my life down a hill, looking out of the window, staying out of the sun. So I chose freedom, running around, trying everything new, but nothing impressed me at all. I never expected it to. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. Patti LuPone. Patti LuPone is sort of a Broadway legend. Has the most phenomenal sort of mezzo-soprano voice. She trained at the Juilliard School in New York in, I think, 1972, and she has had the most phenomenal career on stage. It's sort of, I think if you are a bit of a triple threat as a performer, the ultimate is to sort of have a career on Broadway, and especially if you're a sort of New York actor or actress or performer, it's like you need to have just sort of at some point touched upon Broadway or had some kind of Broadway success. Like even Madonna was sort of dabbling with Broadway early on in her career with Speed the Plow. She was sort of trying to sort of maintain credit as a sort of serious artist that way while she was building herself up to be a pop star. But yeah, interesting that I sort of bring up Madonna in the same breath as Patti LuPone. Patti LuPone played Evita in the original sort of production on Broadway. Phenomenal. And sort of when Madonna did it, when Madonna played Evita in the film version, Madonna actually pissed off a lot of people because a lot of musical actresses had been playing Evita for decades, and it was just, I guess, assumed that they would, be able to sort of step up and into the film version. And fucking nobody could believe that Madonna sort of knocked out all of these iconic performers. Madonna campaigned for it. If you look at sort of the video clip to Take a Bow, that's basically her visually auditioning to be Eva Peron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She did a great job, and a lot of people sort of after the film came out were like, she looks so much like Evita and all of that. And it's like, go back and look at Patti LuPone in sort of 79 and 80 playing Eva Peron. She looks like fucking Eva Peron. It's amazing. But Patti LuPone's 76 now. I don't know if you're a little bit younger and you're sort of listening and wondering who she is. She was in the sort of recent series of Agatha Harkness, Agatha All Along on Marvel in a sort of ensemble cast. And sort of I was watching it and she's in it and she's phenomenal in it. But I was thinking like, that's fucking Patti LuPone, man. Like she deserves to be so much, so much bigger than in like an ensemble cast. But that's showbiz, I guess. It's sort of like you get to a certain age and you just have to be grateful for those kind of roles, you know what I mean? But look, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, Patti LuPone was absolutely stunning and unbeatable as a vocalist. She was amazing. But her and Madonna, I don't think got along. They were very competitive, and I think she was really fucked off that Madonna knocked her out for Evita. And I think we've got a little clip, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. I just wanted to say before that, this is a really tricky time for music theatre in the 80s, at the end of the 80s. What year was this? Late 80s?
No, this is early
Madonna
80s. So
did
this
it?
is Madonna did it and fucking
Yeah. Was it the
Madonna
90s
did
or
it in
something?
like 2000 or something.
Right.
Not like 99 or
Yeah.
2000 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I thought Madonna was good. I thought Madonna
Yeah.
was great in it. I did fall asleep to the movie. I'm not a fan of the musical. I don't know who Argentina is. Who the fuck's Argentina? Someone else, or who is it?
The country of Argentina.
Oh, okay. There you go. I don't know much about it.
So Eva Perón was like a famous actress in. She was sort of like a C grade actress in Argentina, and she went on to marry this politician who would rise up through the ranks and then one day become the president of Argentina. So he had a lot of sort of power, and at the time, sort of Argentina was really on the world stage because they were kind of aligned with Europe in a really dangerous way at a dangerous time with sort of Germany and the Nazis. So everybody was really worried about South America and the leaders there and what they were doing and everything. And she became, because she was the president's wife, she was like the first lady. And because she had come from the streets, because she used to be a prostitute, and
okay.
She became like a cult figure, and they no longer called her Eva Perón. They called her Evita. Like they gave her like a saint's name. She was like a saint.
biscuit name.
They used to pray to her like she was the fucking like she was Mary. They used to pray to her like she was Mary. Like she became like a proper cult figure. And so Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice wrote the musical, and the music's beautiful. It's really amazing. They did drop it. I think a semitone or a tone for Madonna. But she did a great job. Madonna did do a great job. It came out in 96, by the way. I remember I took my girlfriend on Valentine's Day to go and see it in 96.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did she not know then?
She was a big Madonna fan, so she
Well, I
she
went
thought I was
too,
taking
'cause
her
I
for
was.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. There's something about this type of singing that I don't connect with.
Yeah, right.
It's like your grandmother doing
yeah.
the housework in the 50s.
I get it. Yeah.
I never wanted to do it. I never wanted to listen to it. It's really something that, I don't know. I hated this part of the 80s, to be honest with you, when you would watch Sounds or Countdown and fucking Elaine Page would come in, or Elaine Page or whatever her name is, and fuck up your day. You know, but we've got to look at this stuff because people have nightclub events about this shit now. You know what I mean?
It's fucking huge, and I swear to God, there will be so many people that are into this episode.
That's exactly right.
Look, I know it's fucking daggy. I know it's daggy, and I can still fucking fangirl over this shit so hard. I just eat this shit up. Because I like going. Yeah,
right.
I go like the fucking the rocker in me is like, I'm not into fucking show tunes, and then like I'll be in a group of actors and they'll start singing show tunes, and I'm fucking in it, hammer and tongs.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah,
it's
Maddie does that with Mud when he stays here. They break into Phantom of the Opera till 5 in the morning.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
I bet they do.
Oh, God. Here we go. Here's your interview, lovely.
Did Madonna ever have a conversation about your two iconic performances as Evita?
No. She was downstairs at the Mitzi Newhouse when I was upstairs doing Anything Goes in the Vivian Beaumont, and a press agent actually put a sign up that there was only one diva allowed in this theater at a time.
Wow.
It wasn't me, it was
Right.
a press agent that did it. I don't know whether she ever found out about it. I did meet her after her opening night party, and the only thing that Madonna has ever said to me was, I'm taller than you. Bada bing.
What did you think of her role in Evita?
Well, I was on the treadmill, and I would, when MTV used to have videos,
Yes.
right? And I saw, I believe it was Buenos Aires, and I thought it was a piece of shit. Madonna is a movie killer. She's dead behind the eyes. She cannot act her way out of a paper bag. She should not be in film or on stage. She's a wonderful, performer for what she does, but she is not an actress. Bang.
Coming up, more with that. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here.
She's right.
I just fucking love that.
she's
because
right.
she hits the nail on the head.
Yeah. And you know what? Good on her, because how many more hours would she have worked to get to where she is as a theatre person? Because not many theatre people get, Marina Pryor's huge in Australia, right? Everything's
Yeah.
got to have Marina Pryor in it. Fucking there could be another 15 chicks that have better
100%.
fucking looks, better
Yeah.
voices, but it's the big boys, Oh yeah, Marina Pryor, she's a draw card, It's a tight industry. I think.
See, Marina Pryor was the Sarah Brightman when Phantom
Yes.
came to Australia. She played
Yep.
that Christine role, and that really, the fact it's like, who's going to play that role?
Yeah.
Her playing that role elevated her to that status now where it's like,
Oh, totally.
nobody knows actresses in that field, but they know who she is. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
But look,
right.
that clip was, of course, Patti LuPone sort of being interviewed about Madonna and what she thought of the film and that kind of thing. Madonna works hard. This is the thing. Madonna works fucking hard. She is a hard worker. The thing is, though, she rubs people up the wrong way. She's a cunt. She unfortunately rubs people up the wrong way. So people who would normally have a lot of respect for her work ethic, because she's just abrupt. See, Madonna would say to me, I'm taller than you. And I'd give a shit back. And then we'd become mates, you know what I mean? But not everyone's like that. You know what I mean? Not everyone's like that.
That's her. Yeah, that's her admitting that she's shit, really. She's not going to stand there and go, well, I use my voice larynx like this to a fucking chick that's Broadway. She's basically saying in a friendly way, I know I'm shitter than you, but I'm taller than you because I've got nothing else to say to you. And that's what Madge does. And that's how she gets away with a lot of stuff. Because besides what she said, that she's still, it's like me going in and trying to be a secretary when there's 24 secretaries that can do 130 words a minute. And I go, oh my God, I've got that liquid paper, and befriending someone through that, but being a shit secretary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of what Madonna does. And the thing is, though, I think in both fields, there is a lack of realness. It's you have to have a voice for theatre that sounds like this and blah blah la 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 la, right?
The thing
that
is,
shit
though,
needs to be.
In order to be able to do that, I know it may not be our aesthetic. I get, you know what I mean? It may not be our taste, that voice, but to be able to do that voice, you need to have a fucking phenomenal skill set.
It's a 5-hour-a-day fucking workout. I know that.
Yeah,
I've known opera singers. I've hung out with them, right? I know they work 5 hours a day. But there is still something unauthentic about it that you have to fit into the opera mold or you don't get chosen. So the fact that Madonna doesn't fit into that mold, it was never going to work with people in that side of the industry because
No, that's true.
she's kind of an authentic trash bag, you know?
Yeah,
And-
that's right. She's just look, she's just a piece of shit that has worked so hard that
Yeah.
no one can deny her.
Yeah.
You know, like that is Madonna's whole thing. Is she's just a suburban she's just the next chick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that she is prepared to fucking work her ass off to a point where you cannot say no to her. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You got to give it to her. You got to fucking give it to
Oh,
her. All right, we should keep
100%.
moving.
Yeah. Okay, so
the next
we
one's
have-
as 80s as you can possibly fucking get.
This
is your mate Elaine Page. Have a listen.
Oh, fucking hate Elaine Page. Here we go.
Memory, turn your face to the moonlight. Let your memory lead you. Open up, enter in. If you find there the meaning of what happiness is, then a new life will begin. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Burnt out ends of smoky days, stale cold smell.
Memories by Cats, the musical.
Elaine Page. I do love these songs because they're all the songs that like I used to fucking sing at auditions and stuff like that. And you got to have some kind of ability to be able to pull them off. You know what I mean? Like they're big storytelling songs. You've got to be invested. You got to fill them full of emotion, not just kind of hit the notes.
Yeah,
you know?
but I used to audition with this song and I sang it in chest in this fucking key. I sang it in chest and they
right.
couldn't fucking believe it because that's not how you were trained. You get up to a C and you go, oh, instead of, oh,
Yeah.
oh. And that's where, that's like fucking me. You know, like, are you going to do it or not?
Yeah, right.
Like, I kind of
Yeah.
vocally couldn't understand why I had to pull back. And for me, that was less emotion. It was like,
Yeah, right.
but I'm
I get
pulling
it.
back here. I can't. It's like telling someone off and going, don't you be naughty instead of going, don't fuck with me. Like it was just a different thing for me. And I appreciate it, but it wouldn't have been a field that I would have gone into because it was highly competitive and you had to have a look about you because you got to remember if you don't fit the fucking costume, you ain't in the show, whether your voice is any
right.
good or not, right? And
Yeah,
that's the other
yeah,
thing I didn't
exactly.
like. That's the other thing
Yeah.
I didn't like.
Yeah,
But I
right,
think
right.
I did. My cousin was in Cats, David Atkins. He played Mr.
yes.
Mistopheles or something, and
Yeah.
I think it was the Aussie girl that sang Memories, and she did it better than Elaine Page. I'm sorry. I think who's the one we just spoke about with the long hair that probably does Tatslotto now? Oh, fucking! I just spoke about her. The Aussie chick, the one she's in everything.
Oh,
long brown hair.
Marina Pryor.
Marina Pryor sang this fucking very well.
Oh, did she really? Yeah.
And Elaine Page is a little bit around the subject, but still. And she used to always knock off all the great songs. All the great songs.
No, she did. No, she really did. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the story of this. It is very 80s. This is like the most 80s musical that you can think of. This came out in 81 in London, and it ran for 21 years, like an unbroken season of 21 years. And I think it has like 17 or 18 years after opening on Broadway. So that makes it the longest running musical in history, just from like having like in both districts, those two runs makes it the longest running.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's incredible. I don't think it's incredible, but it's just had a good run, you know.
Yeah, no, look, it's about cats.
I would
and
hate
they come
it.
out and they're
fucking
basically
hate it.
Territorial, you know. And it's about that. So if you're a cat lover, you probably would like it. But if you weren't a cat lover, you probably wouldn't understand it. But I've actually never seen the full version of Cats. I don't know.
Whatever you do, don't watch the film that came out in 2019.
Yeah, with Taylor Swift. Yeah.
And fucking Jason Derulo and everybody.
Yeah, that's shocking. They shouldn't do that shit, you know. All right, we got a commercial now.
All right, great.
We got a commercial, honey. We are going to do this one. Now, this is a ripper because I forgot all about this commercial. Here we go.
Swan, thanks, Max. G'day, Greg. What brings you down from Queensland?
To play a bit of golf, but Max.
Oh, g'day. I'm a bit of an expert on Melbourne. That's Melbourne, not Melbourne. So let me show you some of our best tourist attractions. There's a couple in a restaurant. Oh, g'day.
G'day.
There's a bunch of them at the market. Oh, g'day. There's even one in a shop.
Oh, g'day.
It's not hard to find a tourist attraction in Melbourne. The place is full of them. G'day, girls.
Hey, Max.
You see, Melbourne's the friendliest place in Australia. And we'll even bring you here ourselves, because Qantas, the airline that knows Australia best, flies here every day. Cheer up, mate. So America, if you want to drop in, call this number. After all, G'day begins in Melbourne. G'day. What did I tell you?
Commercial from 1989, Melbourne. Tourism.
Yeah, bloody Swan beer, remember that?
Bloody come and have a barbie.
Beer.
Fuck, how did
What
we
was his
get...
name? Max. What was his name?
Max Walker.
Max Walker, of course.
Yeah.
What a character.
Very famous cricket player. Yeah. Good talker. Really good talker and just very entertaining, you know.
Yeah.
As a cricket player.
Mate.
Everyone's mates, that's right. And it's true, Aussies are really friendly when they want to be, you know. Let's get on to the next one so we can go through a bit quicker. This one's
Let's
a
smash
ripper.
it. We've got heaps of songs, yeah.
Here
Next
we
one's
go.
huge. Let's just play.
There was a time when men were kind, when their voices were soft, and their words inviting. There was a time when love was blind, and the world was a song, and the song was exciting. There was a time, then it all went wrong. I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, when dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid.
There you go.
Beautiful, absolutely stunning. So Les Mis came out as a musical in 1980 and actually premiered in Paris. It comes from an old story by Victor Hugo about the French Revolution, but wouldn't be sort of brought to stage until 1980. What's her name? Patti LuPone played this role on Broadway in 85. I was going to play her version of it from 85 as well, because I think she came sort of off the back of Evita. And this is another thing, sort of with these very successful actors and actresses in these Broadway roles, it's finding the balance of playing that role for long enough and well enough that you define that role. You know, like nobody can forget Michael Crawford as the Phantom and Phantom of the Opera. You know what I mean? He's the sort of definitive player of that role. But sort of playing it for long enough that you're not going to get trapped in that show, sort of for a short enough time that you're not going to get trapped within that show and sort of typecast and you can't get off it. What Patti was able to do, what Patti LuPone was able to do was sort of like really kill it at one role, go for long enough. And she just had so many opportunities rolling through that she would sort of like jump off into some other amazing show. And Les Mis is what she did when it came to the US in 85. I wanted to play her version, but I thought in order to kind of hear a few different voices, I would play this one. This is, what's her name? Ruthie Henschel. So Ruthie Henschel sang this version. This is actually a recording from the 10th anniversary performance in Albert Hall, which would have made it sort of 95. But yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful voice as well, this one. Devastating. And I mean, this would get made into a film just a few years ago. Anne Hathaway would play this role of Fontaine and win an Academy Award for this role. So it's still in the public's consciousness very strongly, and it's actually playing in Melbourne right now.
Wow. It is too, yeah. And you got to remember when they were in the stable, as a performer, they were in the stable. So they could jump from show to show. It was like, where's that girl? You know, like sometimes they were paid out of a contract to go into another, right. You know, because they had such a pulling field of fans, because people are fans of the singers. And, you know, you saw that with Wicked, you know, everyone knew that girl in Wicked, and that was the thing. I used to teach kids, and they'd bring in Wicked, and I'd do Wicked, yeah, that's all right. But they'd get to a stage where they'd bring in something like this, and I'd go, I'm sorry, I can't teach you. I can't teach you this, because I'm not loyal. I'm not going to teach you this. I need to put you onto like a Will Conyers, who did Phantom of the Opera, who's an Australian singer who would know more about it than me. It is a different form of communication, not in a bad way. I just wasn't going to take someone's money and go, I'm going to teach you to sing like this chick, when I really can't.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly right. And I do think you need to have a love of it. You know what I mean?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to know the tempo. You need to know the you know, how it's all done and what people are looking for, you know. But yeah, here we go. So we'll do this next one. This one killed me in the 80s. I just couldn't believe this fucking
it was huge
song. Here we go.
Situations must go wrong, but this has never yet prevented me wanting far too much for far too long. Looking back, I could have played it differently. One a few more moments, who can tell? But it took time to understand the man. Now at least I know him well. Wasn't it good? So good. Wasn't he fine? So fine. Isn't it madness? He can't be mine. But in the end, he needs a little bit more than me. More security. I know him so well. No one in your life is with you constantly. No one is completely on your side.
Elaine Page, I know him so well. With her fucking sister. Banging the same guy.
Yeah.
Do you know, this
one's-
is very
one's the
ABBA
mistress and
sounding.
one's the wife. It is. It
That's
is.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like
Yeah.
he's actually said to this Elaine Page, you can't sing. Like, she sounds good here. The only reason she sounds good is because they've gone, you know, Agnetha, I used to sing in ABBA, sound like her, sound like Agnetha, you know, because she fucking
Yeah.
does. It sounds
yeah.
like Agnetha singing this. It sounds like that fucking ABBA song where she's at the train station looking for a
Yes,
new man.
just the melodies and the chord movements
Yeah.
and everything. It's ABBA straight up and down,
it's-
mate.
It is, and you know, I'd be interested to see if this was a track that didn't make one of the albums, to be honest with you. One of the ABBA
Yeah.
albums. You just don't
Yeah.
know, you know. Benny, get that track out of the drawer that we did 15 years ago. You know?
Exactly.
Who knows?
Now this
You
one,
just don't know.
this one made it to the charts. This one,
Yeah, fucking oath it did.
went to number 21 in Australia. This was massive. This
Yeah.
was just a real mum and dad song. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
But,
I've never been to me, Charlene,
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly
but
right.
a bit more expensive.
Yeah. This holds the Guinness Book of Records as the biggest selling UK chart single ever by a female duo.
Nightmare. Oh, duo.
And it made me
Duo.
think of an idea
Two
for a
cups,
show.
one girl.
It made me
Yeah.
think of an idea for a show. Duos with two men or two women.
Oh, that's a good
wouldn't be
idea.
there wouldn't be that many, but like you think of fucking like Dancing in the Streets with fucking Bowie and Jagger and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. There's got to be a few.
Yeah. Oh, there
There's
would
got to be a few.
because they,
So we
you know,
should look
you've
into
got
that.
when we gave Aretha Franklin a go in the 80s, she did a lot of female duos, didn't she?
Yeah. What
Or
was it?
mainly
Sisters are
George
doing it
Michael?
for themselves.
Oh, sisters are doing it for themselves. You could put Kylie and Danny
Yeah.
in there just to be camp.
That's it.
But
yeah.
yeah, no. So this
Just to
really
be
knocked a
camp.
lot of songs off, though. This was played on
Yeah,
Sounds and
absolutely.
Counts, and I just wanted to kill my. I was like, I'm eating my breakfast on a Saturday morning, and this shit had come on. I'd be like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
what do I have to do?" You know,
Look,
it was
the-
very
the-
confusing for me.
The next one will make you want to kill yourself. I don't know. Maybe you like this, but
Oh no, I like this because it reminds me of Jack McFarlane. Here we go.
God, our Heavenly Father. Oh God, and my Father, who's also in heaven. May the light of this flickering candle. Illuminate the night the way your spirit illuminates my soul. Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night? Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you help me not be frightened? Looking at the skies, I seem to see a million eyes. Which ones are yours? Where are you now that yesterday has waved goodbye and closed its doors? The night is so much darker, the wind is so much colder, the world I see is so much bigger now that I'm alone. Papa, please forgive me, try to understand me. Papa, don't you know I had no choice? Can you hear me praying? Anything I'm saying, even though the night is filled with voices.
I'm glad you put this in. 'Cause
Oh,
this
really?
is-
That's what she
This
said.
is my argument. This woman makes everyone else sound like a pig. Barbara Streisand has one of the most immaculate controlled vocal. I could sit there and listen to Barbara Streisand, especially, I mean, we all did in the 80s with that album she had out when she had her white jeans on.
Yeah. Yes.
Barry was with her as well.
Yeah.
Just an amazing, immaculate voice that would never go out and perform live because she was fucking petrified of it. Taurian.
Yeah, that's
petrified.
right. Yeah.
Everything's about the voice. But when you hear this back, you know she can sing it live like this because no one can record like that and not do it live.
Yeah.
And it's a different beast. You know what I mean? I'm feeling her here. I'm feeling this daddy's gone missing. Is he gone to the milk bar and not come home again? I'm feeling it. The other stuff, not feeling it. No.
Well, I
Dad's
mean,
left.
she was hugely invested in this production. This is the only one from our playlist that is from a film.
Yes.
If you really wanted to open it up, you could go fucking crazy with all the, with all the 80s film musicals. You could do fucking Little Shop of Horrors and you could just go for it. I've mainly looked at stage. The reason why I've included this is because I wanted to play Babs because you're right, like her voice is absolutely incredible. I wanted to play Babs. Babs' sort of presence on Broadway was, I wouldn't want to say sort of any particular decade, but she kind of like won all her Tonys and everything during the 60s for Funny Girl and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This though, like absolutely phenomenal. She directed Yentl. She co-wrote it, co-produced it, starred in it. Like just an amazing and sang this the incredible performances. Like amazing. This was also nominated for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards. Amazing. Very, very talented.
This track, I don't know if you remember in Will and Grace, Jack McFarlane's dad dies. That actually really isn't his dad. I think that's the story. And he's singing, Papa, can you hear me? And they're getting drunk. And with Grace's new boyfriend, she's hoping is straight. And then at the end of the night, they're so drunk and they've sung all these show tunes. And Grace goes, oh, my God, he's not. I've turned another one, But it just reminds me of Jack McFarlane. But the thing is, Babs was she was a different racehorse, thoroughbred.
Yeah, she really was. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I love the track. I think it's gorgeous and I love everything she does. And I could sit there and listen to Babs easily, But anyway, let's keep moving on because I'm talking way. Yeah, keep going, Del.
For some reason, she draws a lot of. She's got a lot of detractors. She's got a lot of people that want to take the piss out of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't deny how fucking incredible she is.
Oh, have you read the book?
No.
Have you read her book? Read the book.
Oh, really?
She was. Everyone wanted to fuck her. Everyone.
Yeah, wow.
She had an energy about her. She wasn't only talented, she was very strong when she did her movies and stuff. Like, she would be hitting them off with the freaking, baton.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, yeah, she had some interesting stuff happen to her. And she's also, I don't know what happened live on stage because you had to pay a lot of money to see Babs and it was a lot of money. It was $1,000 in the 90s or something to get, an average seat. And I just think she was petrified and it comes up in an astrological chart. Of course, she did it because everyone needs to eat, but she really didn't feel bad when she left. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, well, that's it. What I do and, but interesting.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, check this one
Next
out.
one.
See if you recognise the later track that this has sampled heavily. Go for it.
Yes, I did. I auditioned for this show.
Did you?
It's Greaseball, it's Greaseball, it's Greaseball, the Diesel. She's the champion, she's number one. Back off, girls, she's mine. Here comes the diesel train with its steel refrain. Hear me knocking. The diesel's on its way, it's gonna win the day. Hear me knocking. Listen to the chatter of the diesel force, generating 2,700 horse. Camshafts rolling while the rockers rock. Hear me knock. See me hustle, feel my muscle, bumping iron. Trying to build my body, trying to lose my mind. See me straining, I'm in training, bumping iron. I'm a diesel engine. I'm knocking, I'm knocking, I'm knocking. I'm pumping iron.
Pumping Iron, Starlight
There
Express.
we go. Now, the song that sampled that like incredible fucking, would you call it a bass line? Synth bass line, I guess, was Golf Rap Strict
Golf
Machine
Rap,
that came
yeah.
out. Yeah,
right. Love that track.
massive.
Love it.
2003. We used to cover it with 10,000 every now and then on stage. Loved
It's a
them.
great track.
Yeah.
Goldfrapp are amazing.
I don't know a thing about the musical though.
Starlight Express, I can tell you about the musical. It's roller skating. So I auditioned for this in 94. I was 24 and I go in and I'm singing it sounds like me on a bad day. Like that's how I sing, right? So I was great vocally. I went in and I sang something from Fame. What was the ballad Irene Cara sang about the music, and it was so beautiful. And I sang that, and then I sang an up-tempo one. And they went, yes, we need you for a callback. And I went, oh, my God, I've got a callback. This is nuts. Then I did the dancing, and I got a callback for the dancing. And then they put me on roller skates, and I fell on my ass. End of audition.
Oh, shit.
Because it was on roller skates. Yeah.
Oh,
but I was wrapped. I was always wrapped to how far I got with these things because it wasn't me. You know.
Yeah.
But vocally,
that's right.
a lot of, Well, this was more contemporary, kind of groovy, you know, because it was like a Starlight. They all sort of roller skated in a line and they looked like sort of Martians or robots, and it was like Transformers on skates, really. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
interested in it. And then when I got through to the singing and the dancing, I went, God, this is really easy to get into. But it was like Rent. Rent was very contemporary, and that's
Yeah.
where I fit the bill. I could never go for Cats or anything like that. So I used to go for a lot of contemporary stuff that, Rock of Ages or something that sounded a bit rock and roll. But yeah, so you had to be a really strong roller skater, and I thought I was, and I hadn't done it for years and bang on the ground. But I bounced.
Yeah, bloody
I was like,
hell.
oh, sorry. And they went, okay, Sam, fantastic. Try and do this. And I went, then they said, yeah, you're going to need a lot. If you need too much training, they're not going to bother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Starlight Express is, it's contemporary, cute,
Yeah.
roller disco shit,
Yeah. Very 80s once
But anyway,
again.
but you're right with that sample. That's Strict Machine for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next one's
All right.
a ripper. Yeah, the next
Now,
one's
this
a
one-
ripper. Yeah.
This one I've kind of had to bend into shape to be included in an 80s show as well, because it really it premiered in the 70s. It didn't show on Broadway, I think, until 1982, and played for years. But the reason I'm sort of including it in the version we've got, Jason Donovan played the lead. Play the track and we'll come back to it.
Here we go.
I close my eyes, drew back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew. Far, far away, someone was weeping, but the world was sleeping. Any dream will do. I wore my coat with golden lining, bright colors shining, wonderful and new. And in the east, the dawn was breaking, and the world was waking. Any dream will do. A crash of drums, a flash of lights, my golden coat flew out of sight. The colors faded into darkness, I was left alone. May I return to the beginning.
Jason Donovan. God, he did
Look,
some
the
work for this,
vocal
didn't
doesn't come. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't come across as too bad at all. He did it. He did
No,
a great
no.
job.
They fixed it. They
Yeah.
got rid of that flat drone thing he does.
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
He wants
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
there,
exactly
though. You can
right.
hear it. He wants to go there, but he's been taught not to. He's actually not
Yeah.
under the note. His phrasing's a bit sort of better. You'd have to be, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's right. They've obviously trained this shit. You'd have to learn something after a while. But
Oh.
he did. This was in 91. This was huge for him.
Yeah, it was.
The cast album went to number one in the UK for 2 weeks, and this single was also the number one UK single for 2 weeks as well in June,
Yeah.
July 91 when the show opened. Where he would leave this eventually, and Phil Schofield would fill in for the lead role. And
Yep.
I think he left to do Rocky Horror, and then when he left Rocky Horror, that other cockhead jumped in. Craig McLachlan jumped in.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like Jason Donovan was the highest earner on the West End for 10 years.
Yeah, that's right. He
had an
was too.
incredible fucking success. At the
Yes.
same time, in Australia, I think because Jason Donovan was doing it, and there was a lot of popularity with Australian performers. There was a major Australian production happening as well in Melbourne, sort of based on the Donovan production, but it opened in 92, and it opened here in Melbourne with David Dixon from Indecent Obsession. Remember that? Can you remember that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, Teeth with his big teeth.
Some people don't dig it anymore. Like, in saying that, you might be this huge thing in the industry and then you just get over it and go, I don't want to do this shit anymore.
No,
I don't want to chase the fucking dollar anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So he could be loving life, you know, and there's no harm in that because it's not an industry where you just dream of being a singer or a dancer or an actor. There is so much shit around it that you have to deal with that is unfucking believable.
Yeah, that's right.
No one of normality could put up with it, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. For sure.
But David Dixon, say goodbye, no. I saw him. They toured with Kylie. They were the touring act for Kylie's first gig in Melbourne that I went to.
They had one song that I liked, and that was that Strawberry Kisses are my favorite flavor. Remember that? Kiss me, ooh oh, kiss me.
No.
It was meant to be their big comeback. They kind of like their second album, the big single kind of thing.
Never gonna work.
But really, they were like a Molly. They were like, Molly was really pushing them. Yeah,
God, yeah,
probably did.
Pushing it real hard to get fucking more than that. He loved him. Because they were on Melodrama or that record company of Molly's. I mean, Molly was awesome, but at the end there, he sort of fucking looked at the artist to root more so than the talent.
Absolutely. No, he really did. No, he really
you know what I mean?
did.
It's horrible to say.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he's done what he has for the Australian music industry. But just in his older years, like Peter Andre couldn't sing for shit, but look at him, he's huge, right? Because he's a stayer.
I think
he wants to stay there.
I think just the taste sort of went out the window, and you're right, it was just sort of like, the ones he wanted to bang. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway.
But anyway, good on you, Molly.
All right.
Last one?
Let's wrap it up with one last song. This is another one from Phantom. I wanted to play that first one that we played before because it's I was laughing my guts out when I was looking at Phantom songs because when we did the Cindy show a couple of weeks ago and you kicked the fucking garbage kicked the fucking garbage bin into the crowd and everyone gasped together. I remember Mud saying that was our chandelier moment from Phantom of the Opera. When
yes. Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he? He's just so clever with his shit. That was our chandelier moment.
That was our chandelier moment from fucking Phantom of the Opera. Sammy kicking the fucking...
Well, we were pissing ourselves about it last night, and I said, it's interactive Cyndi Lauper show where things come flying at you.
fucking hell, mate. Pouring off the stage. I wanted to play that previous track. It wasn't my pick from the show. This one is my pick from the show. It's absolutely beautiful. I love this song. I love Michael Crawford's vocal in this. So check it out, guys. I love it.
Here we go.
Softly, deftly, music shall surround you. Feel it, hear it, closing in around you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know you cannot find. The darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey
There you go.
Phenomenal, beautiful track. Yeah, great. Now, there's a show, I think. There's our fucking, Broadway in the 80s.
Yes.
Musicals of the 80s, guys. Love it.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed it. Sort of, they're very romantic songs, like they've got to be seen sort of live and in the moment and in context. Like you really need to see them at the theatre. If you wanted to go and watch something good, Jesus Christ Superstar that's playing at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne at the moment is phenomenal. We went to see it for Mother's Day. It closes on the 22nd of June. Maybe it'll get a kind of extended season, I'm not sure, but just in case it doesn't, go to see it, guys. It's really, really fucking good. Michael Painter plays Jesus and his voice is absolutely phenomenal. Mahalia Barnes plays Mary. So it's, a great show. Get down and see it.
Yeah, fantastic. We hope you enjoyed the theatre show and write to us with anything. I mean, you've been writing to us anyway. We'll do shout-outs next week when we're together. But thank you for your emails and everything and your like things on YouTube and stuff like that. It's been amazing. And we had a lot of people loved Moustaches of the 80s, and thank you for loving that because it was a better show than I thought it would be. It was really incredible because you got to break it down, don't you? And you go, oh my God, yeah, that. But people were really understanding if they had parents with mustaches, how scary it was when they did shave it off. That was the thing that I got the most was you're exactly right in that situation. We thought our fathers were just someone else, and it was horrific,
Yeah, huge, big
so
what the fuck
keep the
moment.
comments coming in.
Yeah, scary. Get away from me. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Good on you. We love you. Thank you to everyone around the world that listens to the show. Please get your friends on board. Get them listening. And please like, share, rate, and review on whatever platform you listen to us on. Don't just listen to the one episode. Become a subscriber. You just hit subscribe, guys. As easy as that. And best thing of all that you can do is become a Patreon for as little as $2 a month. For $15 a month, you get the extra episodes, guys. So get on board and keep the lights on.
Absolutely. And you can become a Patreon by patreon.com/the 80s Montage podcast. Join our Instagram, the 80s Montage podcast as well, because I've got a little feature of all our shows or like 3 pages of our shows that we've done. So you might be able to look down that list and find something you like and then find it on Apple Podcasts. It might be a show on Madonna, for instance, and you can find the number and just have a look at a show that you really enjoy because it's hard to go through all the shows, you know what I mean? Like if it's all there in front of you, you might as well just pick one.
Maybe if Patti LuPone is listening, she'll look for the Madonna show that we did,
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows?
She might. Or she might look for me more like it. But
yeah, that's
because
right.
I bagged the shit out of it. Not that I mean, look, if you're going to bag Madge, which is she's got a good point, you got to take it back, you got to take it back.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
and
Exactly.
I expect it. 100%.
Yeah.
Don't care,
Yeah, that's right.
So there you go. That's our show and we love you guys and we will see you at a gig. The Seaford Hotel this Saturday night. We are there with our legs in the air and there's already half the venue sold out. So please get your ticket online at theseaford.com.au.
See you there, guys. We love you. And if it's music mateys
or cool shit from the 80s,
we're going to talk about it.
Unreal.